Hello, welcome to our fifth video lesson. Today we are going to talk about vocabulary, about learning new words. I'll tell you some general information about vocabulary. Then I'll explain what it means to actually know a word. Then I'll speak about B1 lexicon, which you should have at the end of our course. And finally, I'll give you some tips for learning and teaching new vocabulary. First, some general information, and just for the record, you do not need to memorize this theory, okay? Vocabulary is a set of words that are used in a particular language. The size of speakers' vocabulary depends on their age, education, social background, and also on the language itself. According to research, an average native speaker of English language who just finished high school knows about 12,000 words. A university graduate, again a native speaker, or an older person would then know about 17,000 words. A foreign speaker of a language knows fewer words. This is not necessarily a problem. Statistically, knowing circa 5,000 words allows you to understand around 95% of the language. Also, the 5,000 is not the final number, of course. If you stay in contact with language, you never stop learning new words. On the other hand, if you do not practice, your vocabulary will suffer. Of course, the term knowing a word is rather relative. Generally, if you know a word, that means you should know its spelling and pronunciation. You should understand its meaning, both by definition and in context. You should be able to use it. You should be familiar with its derivations. That means which prefixes and which suffixes go with it. And you should also understand its grammatical form. In general, we differentiate between passive and active knowledge. Passive vocabulary are the words you recognize and understand but do not use yourself. And active vocabulary are the words that you actually actively use. We can also talk about the degree of knowledge of a word. If you are completely unfamiliar with a word that you've never seen or heard, that means the word is new. You have no knowledge of it. Then, if you've heard the word or seen it but cannot define it, that means it's familiar but you don't know the meaning. You can also be able to recognize the word due to context or tone of voice. You might be able to use the word and understand the general and or intended meaning, but not be able to clearly explain it. And finally, if you are fluent with the word, that means you can use it, you know its definition, and you are able to explain it. This fifth stage should be your aim when learning new words. Let's look at B1 vocabulary. On B1 level, which is the intended level of our lessons, you should be able to discuss, describe, or answer questions about such topics as works, jobs, education, science, technology, appliances, hobbies, free time, entertainment, media, town and city, countryside, buildings, house, home, travel and transport, nature, environment, clothes, colors, food and drink, weather, shopping, health, medicine, exercise, sport, services, language, personal feelings, opinions, or experiences. The B1 lexicon, or group of words you should know at B1 level, contains about 2,000 words. On our campus, I uploaded a link to the official list of words provided by Cambridge English Language Assessment, so check it out. And finally, I'd like to offer you a few tips for learning and teaching vocabulary. First of all, make use of cognates. Cognates are the words with same meaning that are very similar in form in both languages. For example, actor in Spanish and actor in English. Find out the similarities between your language and the new one. You will probably realize that you actually know a lot more than you thought. On the other hand, be careful about so-called false friends. These are words which seem similar in both languages, but their meaning is actually different. For example, Spanish vaso and English vase are not the same. Links to lists of both most common cognates and most common false friends are on our campus. When learning a new word, first make sure you understand its meaning. Then it's always good to write down your own definition and find synonyms. Trust me, your own definition will be a lot easier to remember than the official one from dictionary. Then make sure you practice the word a lot. Memorization might help, but it will not save you. You need to be able to use the word, and that can only be done through practice. Try with controlled practice first, for example with grammar exercises, and then move on to free practice. Talk and write. And to finish with, just a bit of advice. It's been scientifically proven that reading a lot will help you build your vocabulary. Choose a book that you like or one that you really want to read and get it in English. Read news on BBC, read tutorials on internet, anything counts. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for your attention and see you in class.